What's up, everybody? It's Kevin here from Happy Beard Games, and boy, does it feel great to not be sick. And if you are sick, I feel your pain. Being sick is the worst, especially during the winter season. A lot of people get sick at that time, and I know what you're going through if you have a common cold or something similar with a cough. I had a bad cough for over a month, and it pretty much stopped me from doing any videos. I did some live streams, I did some videos without commentary, and that was just because I love doing videos, I love doing reviews. I even wrote a few scripts for reviews as well, but it did get in the way, definitely. So I just want to have this little update before we jump into the gameplay. I do want to point out that on my channel I do reviews. I have lots of different series going on. I have some reviews planned for next week. You may have seen previews of them on my Instagram. That's where you should go if you want some sneak peeks of Happy Beard Games, on my Instagram page, that is. But I do want to point out that I'm going to be slowly changing over from not so much gameplay videos to reviews. There will still be some that are a mix, like the Wii Wednesdays. Those are mostly gameplay. But most of them will be reviews from this next month in December. Most of my videos will be review videos. Some of them shorter than others, but some of them are going to be pretty fun to make, I bet. So one of the first things that I am going to be reviewing is on my Gamer Piece Theater series, which I know a lot of you are really interested in seeing more of that. So on that series, I take a look at classic arcade games and I review them, and I kind of compare them to their sequels or games that come later on in the series, such as Donkey Kong. I did all the Donkey Kong arcade games. I try to take a look at some of the older versions of the game, such as on the NES or the Atari consoles, or sometimes arcade ports on collections for the Gamer Piece Theater series. We are also going to be doing some more games for that coming up soon. I'm going to be doing the Star Wars games for the original arcade and the original Atari consoles. I have the first Star Wars planned, Star Wars Arcade. I have that one planned, and then pretty soon we're going to do Empire Strikes Back for the Atari, and then later on I'll get to a Return of the Jedi type game and a Star Wars Force Arena game, where I think it's called Force Arena or something like that, and you just use lightsabers on a two-player battle for the Atari. So that's what's coming up on Happy Beard Games. Now let's get to what this video is actually about, and that is a game that I just got in the mail today, and that is Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back for the Atari 2600. Yes, I got it complete in box. Really lucky buy at $10, and it's pretty dang good condition. It's got the manual, and you'll see more of this box and what's in the manual in my full review for the Gamer Piece Theater of Empire Strikes Back, which will be coming up in a couple more episodes. But for now, we're just going to check out some of the direct gameplay of me playing Empire Strikes Back on the Atari 2600, reliving some memories. I had this as a kid, and this is one of the most memorable games because I love Star Wars on the Atari 2600, and I don't think it's going to live up to my expectations. I don't think it's going to live up to my memories, but we'll find that out right now. It even has some of the music. Awesome. And I think we're already... No, we're not jumped in yet. But this is what the main screen looks like. You're on the Battle of Hoth. This is entirely the Battle of Hoth. You're a snowspeeder taking down some AT-ATs. Don't think there's any AT-STs in here. But there's a radar in the bottom, and I'm not entirely sure. I did flip through the manual real quick and read the back of the box, and I kind of have an idea because I played as a kid. But it's been like 25 years or something like that. So I guess I do actually have to game reset. Let's start with the first game. We've got at least 4 snowspeeder ships, and we're probably just going to play the first game for this gameplay video. So we are ready to go just by moving the joystick. I'm using the Slick Stick controller here. We've got... You know, the thing is, this is a Parker Brothers game, and I also have Spider-Man by Parker Brothers, and I still haven't figured out how to beat Green Goblin in that. So let's see if we can take down this AT-AT Walker in this one. I don't think you use Laser Blast. Maybe you do. There's another one there. I think there must be 5 walkers. I always thought you used the tow cable on this, but maybe I'm thinking of something else, like the Super Nintendo one, but I'm pretty sure I didn't get these mixed up. Maybe you do just shoot it, which is much different than the movie, because in the movie you mostly use tow cables to knock them down. This brings you back to a simpler time of movies and a simpler time of video games. It also brings you back to a simpler time of Star Wars, of course, because now there's Star Wars everywhere, and it's weird to see that people are introduced to Star Wars in different ways because there's so much content of it, not just in video, Oh, I see there's a weak spot on them. Okay, so when you shoot them, it lights up a weak spot, and then we're targeting that. I'm assuming that's what it is. Oh, let's hit you hard. And you're going kind of fast. See, if I were to let go of the thumbstick, or the joystick, I kind of start hovering in a direction. Looks like I can shoot their blasts as well. It knocks you back hard, though. It's kind of a cool effect. The knockback. There was a shot there, but I don't see it anymore. It's like right above... Like, there we go. It's like right under the neck. I can get there. This is a tricky game. You gotta line it up right. Might be one of those games that'd be easier with the Genesis controller, which is, of course, also compatible. I have been using that a little bit recently. I tried using it on Spider-Man to help me out a little bit. I don't know if you saw my Spider-Man video, but I think I did it only on Twitch. I was testing out the Twitch streams with some Spider-Man on the Atari 2600. I guess you have to shoot him from the front? I don't know, maybe sometimes they'll be the back. Come on. Come on, Luke. I'm assuming I'm Luke. Oh. Now, in my Gamer Piece Theater video, a little preview, I'm actually going to be not just reviewing this game, but I'm also going to be comparing it to what it leads into the future. So, like, Shadows of the Empire. To an extent, Empire Strikes Back on the Super Nintendo, and also the Rogue Squadron series were heavily inspired by classic Star Wars Arcade. Specifically, the very first Star Wars Arcade where you're going down the Death Star trench run. That was a huge inspiration for the game series Rogue Squadron. We got knocked down. We've got more ships. I thought every time I was getting hit, I was a new ship. I guess we've got multiple ships to use, and then each one can take more than one hit, which is kind of a rare thing for Atari, or at least the games that I've been playing. I only got my Atari this year, so I rebought an Atari this year, and from what I know, a lot of the games are more arcadey, of course, so you die with one hit, and that's it, but you usually have multiple lives, of course. And I've already got a decent Atari collection. I've got some of the classics, I've got some of the obscure ones as well, some of the infamous ones like E.T., but I don't have too many movie games until recently. I got Spider-Man, well, I don't know if it's a movie game, a cartoon game, comic game, and then I got E.T., and I had that for a while, but I got this game as well. It's actually pretty fun. It's really kind of tricky. I don't know if I actually did any better when I was a kid, though. But it is, you have to be very precise with the aiming. And it's not just the aiming, but, like, the AT-AT moves his head and it'll block it. And then at the same time, when he moves his head, or the machine's head, it's a vehicle. When it moves the head, it goes to shoot at you. But at the same time, you've got this, like, constant flight. And I just want to see for a little moment how fast this snowspeeder can go. Wow, that is some flicker in the background. What's going on back there? Wait, is that always been happening? Because I'm focusing on the foreground where the AT-ATs. And, yeah. I don't think that's always been happening. Why does that happen? Oh, what's going on? I'm not sure what happened there, but apparently the game's over. Alright, wait, am I moving? What's... my controller break? I'm no longer in control, that's all I'm saying. Oh, we're crashing? What is going on here? What is going on? If anyone's more familiar with this game than I am, let me know, because I'm not doing it. I'm gonna restart the game, and we're gonna try one more time. Let's see if my controller actually is working, because I haven't plugged it in or plugged it back out. It's working now. I don't know what that was. It was like almost like a game over demo screen, but it didn't follow the gameplay or anything like that. That was just weird. It was like the snowspeeder was just flying off on his own, and then it started crashing. Let's try to take down a few of them. I probably won't get the whole screen, but this is going to be our last full run on this game for this video. It's a serious run. Of course, half the time when I try to take it more seriously, I end up doing worse. I don't know if that's like that for any of you guys. I just noticed you can shoot the lasers as well. The ones that are coming at you. Okay, wait. It'll be interesting to see the other game modes on this. I'm pretty sure they're all basically the same gameplay. I don't think there's any other levels, but it would be interesting to try things out. Because it said there's like, I think it said there was 30 different game modes. I could be wrong about that. So those are just game variations. I don't think there's any two-player. There could be two-player, but it's probably you take turns. I say turn-based, and now people think of like each take your turn, but it's actually more like one person plays the game and another person passes it off and plays it to the other person plays it. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, come on. Is there a trick? Did we get him? No. Oh. I feel like there's gotta be an easier way to take these guys down, but they are pretty powerful machines compared to the snow speeders, just like in the movie. And by the way, guys, this isn't really a spoiler, but unless you haven't seen the movie. If you haven't seen Empire Strikes Back, you should not be watching me play Empire Strikes Back, because the movie is way better than the game, of course. But not only that, but this kind of is going to spoil the movie, so please watch the movie. And please watch the first Star Wars as well, A New Hope. If you haven't seen it, in this game, you can never technically win. The rebels never win, just like in the movie. Sure, you can take down the AT-ATs and win the level, but, I mean, just like in the movie, you're not supposed to win because they don't win. And they keep that trend in the, there we go. Got one. When they keep that trend in the Rogue Squadron games. In the Rogue Squadron games, you have to defend Hoth Echo Base from the Imperials that are invading the planet Hoth and trying to attack the base. But only on that, you do lose in Rogue Squadron. You're supposed to lose on the Hoth level, just like in the movie. But what I was saying is you just have to defend it for a certain amount of time. So you don't just lose. You want to make sure you can keep any rebels alive to get off the planet, because they want to escape with as many people intact. So they kind of keep that together in the Rogue Squadron game. It's a little detail that they kind of keep with the game, so that way they're in line with the story events of the movies. And they have that in this too, to an extent, where you can't ever win. You never defeat the Empire in this game, of course. There's no happy ending to the Battle of Hoth, that's what I mean. So that was it for the basic gameplay of Game Mode 1. I'm going to take a quick peek at the back of the box and see what else is in there, and or the manual to see whether game modes might be interesting, but this will probably be about it. So I'm not going to play any more game modes for this game today, but basically there is a 1 to 4 to make the difficulty harder, there's 1 to 4 for 2-player, and there's some other modes. But there's some really basic things that I didn't know about in this game when I was playing it that I just want to mention, just so Atari purists and fans of this game won't get angry with me. No gripes, because I'm new to this, essentially new to it. I played it when I was a kid, once again. But there's a couple things that I didn't do. One of them is the AT-ATs can shoot out smart bombs, which kind of lock onto you. That's probably why I was getting hit sometimes. I don't know if I actually got hit by one, though. You can also land in the valleys for repairs. You can repair your ship, but I'm not sure how to tell how much health or damage your ship has been taken. But you can go and repair your ship by landing into one of the valleys that you see on the bottom of the screen. You can also get the Force. The Force was an interesting concept, and it was really elaborated more on in Empire Strikes Back, the movie. But in the game, it says you get the Force, and that might have been the flickering on the top of the screen, and you can get a better chance at destroying the AT-ATs, I believe. Alright, everybody, that was it for my quick gameplay video of Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back for the Atari 2600. It's a very basic game based on one of my favorite movies of all time, and probably the best sequel of all time, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. Love that movie, love Star Wars, and it's very important to me, but the game I had as a kid, once again, and it's pretty much the same as I remember, but there are some things that I didn't really know about it that I'm learning more now that I have the manual and the box. They kind of help me out, and now that I have the internet, I could look that up anyways. But it is a really interesting game. It's very arcadey. It's not as good as Star Wars Arcade, where you're going down the Death Star, but for a Battle of Hoth game, it's pretty good. It's fairly well done. It's something that I will be going back to, definitely. It's very fun to play. It's based on Star Wars. That's really cool. And look for more of it and more information about the game in my review on Gamer Piece Theater. Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back for Atari 2600. As well as, before that, I'm going to do Star Wars A New Hope, aka Star Wars Arcade. So stay tuned to Happy Bird Games for more of that. Thank you all for watching. Have a good one. May the Force be with you. Bye.